Ladies and gents, members of the press, a very good evening and welcome along to our first press conference after ADFC round one, which was back in May. Welcome along to the Emirates Palace. My name is Thierry. I'll be taking care of you during this press conference. ADFC, the Abu Dhabi Fighting Championship, organised and presented by IC Events. It is one of a kind because the Abu Dhabi Fighting Championship is the first mixed martial arts championship in the Middle East and North Africa region. It's an annual event with 3 rounds held every year. There are 2 parts to every round of the Abu Dhabi Fighting Championship. We start off with the undercard, what we call the side fights, which features up-and-coming fighters from around the region, from around the world, and most importantly from the UAE itself. And of course the main fights, the Grand Prix, which we start off in round 1, which of course holds a purse of 1 million dirhams at the end of round 3. Abu Dhabi Fighting Championship took a little bit of a break during the summer. We are now back with a new look and a new direction. The date for the Abu Dhabi Fighting Championship Round 2 is October 22nd, and it's going to be held at the Abu Dhabi National Exhibition Centre, which was the venue for Round 1. We do promise more exciting fights, more fighters, more exciting fights, and a whole new show altogether. Marcos Santa Cruz Oliveira, there he is. Famous for knocking out Johan Roming of France in round 1 in just 17 seconds. That was one of the highlights of round 1. He trains at the Abu Dhabi Combat Club in the capital and teaches children in Abu Dhabi schools jiu-jitsu. He's got a program called Soukoudjou. Next on the panel we have Shamil Abdurahimov, Rostov-on-Don. Shamil trains in the mountains of Russia. He does very, very awkward things, but he's a champion in his own right. He beat veteran Jeff Monson in round 1 back in May. Side fights, the undercard as we like to call it. Let's introduce you to the UAE's pride and joy. He's the only professional UAE mixed martial artist, Hassan Al-Rumaythi. There he is. Big round of applause for Hassan. Come on, guys. The only UAE fighter. Hopefully, other Emirati fighters will see Hassan and his achievements in the ring and will try to emulate him. Right next to him on his right, we've got Maiko Haita, Mikey, who's a star in his own right, tremendous fighting potential to become an international MMA champion. The guy is very, very good, and he trains hard here in the capital at the Abu Dhabi Combat Club. We've got Abdullah Abu Hamdan, who sadly did not fight in round 1 because his opponent injured himself during the warm-up. So he promises to take out all his frustration on round 2. Abdullah Abu Hamdan has a habit of knocking out his opponents in every single fight. Hailing from Iraq by way of UAE, he's got his own karate school. Rafat Shawi, ladies and gents, who's going to be with us at the undercard, one of the promising fighters here in the UAE. We look forward to having him in round 2. And the man in the middle, please welcome Mr. Randall Yogachandra. You know him as Randy. He's the new Chief Operations Officer, the COO of IC Events, the organisers and presenters of the Abu Dhabi Fighting Championship. The man is in charge of taking IC Events and the whole image of ADFC in a new direction. The Abu Dhabi Fighting Championship Round 2 is brought to you by IC Events, as we said. Plus, we'll be looking at other events, be it commercial, be it sporting, be it musical, conferences as well. You'll be hearing more about that in the press in the future. Our sponsors and partners, Bin Murshid Holding, Abu Dhabi Sports TV, Sea Tourism, and Emirates Palace. You've met the fighters, you met the CEO, Mr. Randy. Any questions from the press? Please, go ahead, sir.
أن هذه اللعبة جديدة في دولة الإمارات. ماذا تمثل لكم هذه اللعبة عالميا لكن في الدولة غير يعني أكيد.
MMA is a new sport in the UAE. It's not that popular just yet. What does Hassan intend to do through his training and through his fights to promote mixed martial arts in the UAE?
أحب أشكر أول شيء سيدي صاحب سمو الشيخ زايد النهيان وسيدي سمو الشيخ زايد النهيان على الدعم الكبير لرياضة الجوجيتسو والمصارعة والله أقول طيب أول مرة ألعبها وكإماراتي جديد إن شاء الله تنتشر الرياضة عالميا انتشارها سريع. نتمنى إنه هذا الراوند 2 يكون في عندنا مواطنين ثانيين. بس ان شاء الله يكون في الراوند 3 يكون عندنا مواطنين بعد 2 3 اكثر يعني يدعموا الرياضه ونخلي الناس كلهم يشوفونا.
يعني هل هناك خطط يعني مبرمجه لنشر هذه اللعبه في الدوله؟
اكيد كلها في الاماميه وفي الجيتسو بس اكيد في يعني خطط في ADFC.
And we mentioned that the company is taking over a new direction, a new lease of life. How do you see that direction going? Where do you see IC events in the next 18 months or so?
Well, the direction that ADFC and IC is going is still the same. Even though it's changed, it's still, I mean, even though management has changed, the direction is still the same, it's to the top. We're still going to establish a strong foundation here in Abu Dhabi and the UAE. That's our first goal, to make a solid foundation here before we can start spreading our seed and our roots elsewhere. Now, how we're going to get to that vision, we have some new ideas, new creative ways, and new perspective. And in the next 18 months, IC, you'll start seeing the name IC, and of course, you'll start seeing ADFC much more often. And as we build our brand in this region.
So it could be, ADFC could be international in the next couple of years, possibly. Trip abroad for another Grand Prix, maybe another million dirhams, yeah?
In a couple of years, maybe, hopefully.
Excellent.
But we'll focus here first.
What differences will there be between round one and round two, from your point of view, from the preparation and the show?
Well, round one we had entertainment, like small scale entertainment. Round two, we're focusing more on the fights. We're making it an actual fight night for the fans. We're catering to the MMA fans this round. And MMA fans just love the fights. And that's what we really want to focus on. We've made it a more intimate setting. We've kind of taken out all the hoopla and stuff that comes with the production and just focused on the fighters and giving the fight, giving good fights to the fans.
Santa Cruz, the man so far with the shortest knockouts, TKO of Johan Ronning of France in round number one. You spent 6 weeks in Brazil before you came here?
Yeah, I went to Brazil for vacation.
Cool, Neil Wain with his win. How do you see your style against this? He's very much a striker, and you're very much a full package, but more a grappler.
Yes, he had a heavy hands and he's on this business for a long time, you know, but for sure I'm much better than him, and I train more than him, and I have better training partners and better coach than him, and they already give me the different package of sport, and they already start make the plan to destroy him.
Destroying, I like that, yeah.
You heard it here first. Huh? Mark is right here.
So from now until October 22nd, you're going to be focusing solely on training at the Abu Dhabi Combat Club, is that right?
Yes. And when I moved to Abu Dhabi, I moved to work on a Soukoudjou program, you know, created by the Sheikh Mohammed. But after the fight, they give me the whole support for training, you know, the coach, everything I have for them. Be like well prepared for the ADFC to get this title. This title is going to be here in Abu Dhabi.
The title is going to stay in the capital.
Nobody's going to take this title.
There you go. Mikey was also in Brazil for a while. Was that also a holiday, Mikey? Were you training?
Yeah, I just was there for 5 weeks. I was just to see my family again. I was 1 year out, and of course I was training hard there too. I've been in Rio, training with the top team, my old school, and that's what we do.
And you're going to focus on training from now until the 22nd?
There is.
We don't know who your opponent is just yet, but...
No, I know him already.
Yeah.
He's in the future. He's not here tonight. I don't care against who I'm fighting. I'm just training hard for
Of course. So that was the only submission of the night. That was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Is that part of your training to go to study your opponent and then try and counter his weakness with your strength?
I'm Brazilian, black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, so I'm training hard everything. I've been in Thailand, Holland, training my standard skills, but always Jiu-Jitsu gonna be my strong point. So if you give me a chance, I'm gonna take him down and submit him again.
Of course, some of the best Muay Thai is in Thailand.
Yeah.
I go to Thailand, but not to train.
Well, training never stops, from boxing to Jiu-Jitsu to Muay Thai. I didn't have a vacation since. I'm always in training. I was in the UK for the last 2.5 months. Yeah, training never stopped. And I'm ready for the second.
Fabulous. What would you, and your expertise would be, you're a kickboxer. Would that be,
I had a lot of Muay Thai fights, a lot of amateur boxing fights. Yeah, I'm more a striker, and then the rest.
And are you comfortable on the ground?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much. Good. Well,
You will be in October.
I'm always.
Good. Rafa Chawi, ladies and gents, is a new face for the Abu Dhabi Fighting Championship. Runs his own gym at the Emirates Towers in Dubai. A man with a record of 2-0, is it, Rafa?
In the Emirates Towers, the Big Apple Gym, that's where I teach. I teach karate and Thai boxing. I'm a black belt in karate, few times Iraq champion, and twice UAE karate champion, and international gold medalist as well.
The ADFC won. His first fight was against the Snowman, Jeff Munson. It was the only fight to go in 3 rounds, basically. How did he recover from that, and how's his training going for the next fight?
Они спрашивают, как ты готовишься на второй турнир и третий, поскольку ты первый турнир выиграл Мансон. Как у тебя?
Я готовлюсь на самом высшем уровне на данный момент.
أنا محضر حالي
Я
بدرجة
думаю,
كتير عالية.
что я должен победить. Следующий бой, ну посмотрим дальше. Арена покажет.
أهم هدف عنده إنه يربح بتاني راوند.
بده المليون. أي حاجة بده المليون.
هيك قاعد بجبل فينا.
Do we see ADFC possibly staging various events across the UAE before we venture abroad?
Yeah, definitely. But as you know, this first season, we definitely want to build our foundation here in Abu Dhabi. Although it stands for Abu Dhabi Fighting Championship, our goal and vision is to promote the UAE as well as the MENA region. So, yeah, we will take it abroad, but for right now, as I mentioned earlier, we really want to stick in Abu Dhabi. We'll do the weigh-ins in Dubai because, you know, we have there's still a large fan base in Dubai that we want to reach out to.
Have you got any statistics on the percentage of MMA fans in Abu Dhabi and Dubai? Who's got the bigger percentage?
Well, of course, Dubai does. It has a large expat population, and about 70% of our fans from round one were from Dubai. So that just gives us a little idea of where we should, you know, try to promote a little bit better. I'm really excited for round two. We got some good fighters. We've brought in new faces. As you can see, the majority of the fighters here are all representatives of the UAE. So, you know, and majority of them are from the Abu Dhabi Combat Club, which is a great supporter. Round two is going to be spectacular. It's going to be showcase some real talent, some new faces, new fighters, and it'll be good. Come out October 22nd. It's a new dawn, new era for ADFC and MMA here in the UAE.
Excellent.
If one of the fighters get injured, you have someone to replace them?
Yeah, I was thinking about going in myself. We do. We have backup fighters, heavyweight fighters, and if one, hopefully, none of our fighters in our main card get injured. For them, you know, I think they don't want to get injured, and even if they were, for the $1 million dirhams, they'll still fight. All right. All right.